Welcome to Pull the Pin Already War Room Edition. I'm your host, Jim. With me, as usual, is Mike. We ready to get started, Mike?
Yeah, we're ready to get started, man. We got to make this quick because we got a lot of guys waiting in the queue to come on the show.
Oh, we do?
Yeah.
Let me go check that out. Boom, there's
Oh,
one.
we got Nate. And
I got money behind me, guys.
That's right.
We got to pound this out.
That's right.
All right. Let me get to the next one.
Who's next?
Maybe we're having technical difficulties. I don't know.
Nate is the line. Okay.
Maybe. Did you scare them all away? I mean,
I block them all out. When I'm done, then they can come in one at a time.
Oh, you put them straight. They all got scared.
There you go. All right, guys. Let's pull the pin.
All right. What a good show. Good episode, guys. Thanks for your coming. Thanks for... Yeah. All right. So whatever. We'll go with it. Let's like normal. When we don't get enough people who want to participate, me and Mike will participate. This is normally...
And Nate.
What?
You said me and Mike and Nate.
Right. Well, Nate's obviously because the episode is about Nate, about the veterans coming through where we keep quiet. Normally, we just kind of facilitate their opinions. But in this case, we're going to give ours.
Oh, thank you. I thought you were saying we're going to give Nate the floor here. And I was like,
no. I'll show him where to start his own YouTube channel and whatever. I got to stop promoting YouTube. Stop promoting YouTube. They don't promote me. Anyways, Rumble channel. Get his own Rumble channel. Awesome. So anyways, we ready to get started since we've been talking a whole lot?
You're ready.
Well, Nate, we got a minute to see how you're doing.
I am doing good.
It's been a while since you've been on the show, Nate.
Like I was on vacation last week, so I missed your episode. I was in South Carolina. Mastodon exists there. It felt like I was back in America again.
Okay.
Wow.
Now I'm in
South Carolina,
Biden state, and I got to wear a mask to go in a gas station again. So,
just one mask?
Well, 2 provides better protection, but 3 is phenomenal.
Wow, they're up to 3 now.
Right?
Wow. Unbelievable.
Yeah. All right. Well, you guys ready to hit some topics?
Yeah, let's hit some topics, man. Let's see what's going on in America.
As you know, all of these are headlines pulled from some sort of media. Okay? So there's not stuff we're making up. It's all headlines pulled from media.
Let's get that first one from the Onion.
I love this.
It's not the Onion. But there we go. Obama claims mass shootings result from disaffection, racism, and misogyny. Demands gun control.
Can you repeat that, please?
Obama claims mass shootings result from disaffection, racism, and misogyny. Demands gun control. The president from 8 years. The president for 8 years.
Gun control
is demanding gun control now because the results are from disaffection, racism, and misogyny.
Gun control is going to solve everything before it. Okay. Oh, okay.
Are you still processing the question, or is that?
Yeah, I'm processing it.
Yeah, I'm processing too. This is deep.
Gun control is going to solve everything that you listed before that. Okay.
That he knew about. Right.
Right.
So,
because it's not a new discovery, right?
No.
What is gun control?
You want to?
I don't believe it exists. Yeah, I don't believe it exists. It's people control is what they're talking about.
Okay, thank you. All right, just making sure we're on the same page.
You talking about from a political stance what gun control is?
Because look, I live in Delaware.
Right.
I took a class. I posted my name in a newspaper. I had an ATF check. And then I could buy a gun. Is there more control than that? Like, then now they want to control what type of gun I can buy, how many rounds I can have in a magazine. That's not gun control. Like I said, that's people control.
Well, there's something you're missing too. They do tell you when you can't have them. You can't have them at schools. You can't have them at federal. So they do control that too.
True.
So on top of all those controls, there's still other controls.
True. So like, not most, but in the past couple of years, a lot of mass shootings has happened in gun-free zones. Correct?
Yeah. Usually, that's the theme.
So that gun control and that gun-free zone is not working.
Of course.
Okay, I'm just checking because
it's like me and Mike spoke. Where would if someone is determined to be your enemy, if they're determined to be your enemy, and they were trying to come up with a plan to do the most damage, where would they go? They would go to the least resistance that could cause the most damage. Duh.
Right. So like they have these gun-free signs.
Like gun-free signs. Right.
If I'm concealed, you don't know I'm carrying. So
I want to know what Mike thinks.
I am fine not carrying into a establishment that does metal detectors before you go in. So sports stadiums, I'm fine not carrying because they're checking everybody before you go in. Courthouses, they're checking me before I go in, and I am fine with those. A school zone, ain't nobody checking me in a school zone. No one's checking me in the Walmart parking lot. No one's checking me in a grocery store. No, I'm carrying in those places. I don't care what your sign says. If I can legally carry, I'm carrying in those zones.
So Mike is a huge Obama supporter. What do you think about his statement?
Now, before Mike speaks, I did vote for Obama too, so I'm on both sides of the fence here. But please, Mike, go ahead.
Gun control is gonna solve everything that was listed before it. Okay. Now, I think you say gun control versus people control. I truly believe some politicians want to control all of the guns, who they go to, and they don't want it to go to any private citizen. I truly believe some politicians believe they want that. They want to take all the guns away. No private citizen has a need for a gun. I don't care what type of gun it is. They feel you don't have to have one for no reason whatsoever. I honestly believe that. Okay. Now, when you talk about gun control, like when you say about the amount of rounds that go in a magazine, where you can carry it, that's all under that umbrella of gun control. And that umbrella is just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger until they have 100% gun control. I truly believe that. Now, about that statement, it means absolutely nothing to me. Because even if you did have 100% gun control, you'll still have racism, misogyny, disaffection, and everything else that was listed. It's still going to be there. All right. So now some people will say, well, this is a way to stop gun violence. Right. When people are still going to feel this way, but this is a way that we can stop the gun violence towards racist people can't use a gun to further their belief or their opinion, whatever. Right. You know, and I don't believe in it. I think if you had more people with guns, that'll stop. It goes back to the Wild Wild West comment I made, Jim. If everyone had a gun, trust me, no one's going to be so quick to pull it. Right. Plain and simple. Where I was a cop in Georgia, the law says if you own a house, you have to have a firearm. So, you're not going to have that many home invasions, so to speak, because people know there's a good chance the owner is going to have a pistol or some type of gun inside the house, a firearm, right? So that's what I say. It's a deterrent. A lot of people disagree with me, but
no, if you look at the states that have more liberal gun laws than have controlled gun laws, those states are more safer.
So yeah. So Mike, you don't want to comment on, like, what if I had made this statement? What would you call me?
Yeah, probably the same thing I always call you, but where are you going with this?
I'm just saying, like, you don't find any significance that a former president of 8 years who had a chance to address and do all this stuff is now speaking on this?
He tried.
If I'm not mistaken, he did attempt some type of, once again, gun control, but he didn't have what Biden has right now. He didn't have the House and the Senate. Yeah, so he couldn't do anything. He did during his first 2 years. That's when he should have really talked about it and tried to, implement new laws. But for whatever reason, that didn't happen.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
We ready for the next one?
What's your thought?
Oh, mine?
Yeah.
Oh, I already said
mine. Jim on the show.
I thought I already spoke on it. That's what I said. I think that it's ridiculous. It's people control, because gun control is just like drugs control. Like, it doesn't stop people who want to do things. So we're not talking about a bunch of people buying guns and going out and shooting a bunch of people because that's what they want to do. Those people exist, but all the other people just want to defend themselves from those people.
You're right.
So
Yep.
I don't know what you're controlling, because the people who don't go do those things will abide by the law, and then they won't have any protection from the people who will find other means, whether it's illegal, creating their own guns, stealing them from police cars, all that stuff. They'll find a way. So if you want to control people, control at least the right people. Stop controlling the wrong people.
Yeah, there's so many guns in America. You can make every gun illegal. You ain't gonna get rid of every gun in America.
But they could 3D print them now. We already spoke about this. And then what happens when all the guns are gone? Just like they do in the UK. Now it's knife stabbings, which are just as deadly, if not more. And then what happens after that? Then they go buy these books that show how to use chemicals. And I don't even want to get into it. My point is you're going to force people who want to get things done, whether good or bad, into other means by acting like you're stopping it. And you're not stopping it. You go after the people that do it if you want. You don't go after the people who don't do it.
With all of those issues, gun control is not going to solve those issues. I don't know if that's what his statement meant. Like it's going to stop all of that, but maybe he meant it's going to, the crimes associated with those feelings or those beliefs will lessen. Okay.
There's too many states that don't have death penalty and too many states that give you a slap on the hand for gun problems. So me, you, and Jim, we own guns, but we're not out there on the streets. But if we get charged, we get slapped on the hand, sent back out in the streets to do it again.
Right.
Mike doesn't own a gun.
I don't.
I'm not asking questions.
Right. Oh, there was a generic state, right? Yeah. Mike's. Yeah. He just
I
borrows
don't
mine.
know anybody who owns guns, so let's go.
So Mike is stopping racism.
I'm going behind your
Mike,
head right now, Jim. But
appreciate it, Mike. Mike, that's just a model.
Yeah, that's a toy.
It's a model.
Mike, toy.
Sticker on the
Mike,
wall.
you are stopping disaffection, racism, and misogyny, and we appreciate you.
Yeah.
Are we ready for the next
Yeah,
question?
I got gun control.
Yes, Mike has gun control.
Yeah.
That's the only control I think he has. Because how many kids do you have? Okay, next topic.
That's not a headline.
North Korea launches 2 ballistic missiles into Sea of Japan.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be like an and.
No.
What's the U.S. response from our politicians?
Last I heard, we're open to talking to him now.
North Korea threatened if we keep doing training on the border, they're going to launch missiles. Well, guess what? They called our bluff.
Mm.
And why? Why would they call our bluff?
Because they know they're weak now. They're not. No one's going to do it. We're going to bomb Syria, but not North Korea. Who's more of a threat to us right now?
Well, it depends on what you mean by threat for me.
Yeah. I don't know if either one of them are really a threat.
Yeah, to me, they're both the same.
I mean, I still work for the military. We test missiles all the time too. What's the difference?
Yeah.
We have a place called White Sands Missile Range.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean,
well, we didn't do it over Japan Sea, though. I mean, that's a little different if we're testing them in our own land.
Who owns that sea? Is it just called it's like staying in the Atlantic Ocean? No one owns the Atlantic.
Okay, we're not throwing it over the fence of our neighbor.
I don't know.
It's still in our property.
Did they fire over Japan into us? I don't know what the Japan Sea is. Is it just a name of a sea out there?
It's called the Sea of Japan, I guess, and
I think right there, that's what the headline is. That's why they created that headline. It's the trigger.
Yeah, no.
They're attacking Japan. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean,
how close to Japan's shoreline was it? Or is it 500 miles offshore in Japan?
Well, let me ask you a question. When was the last time they did missile launches? Do any of you remember?
Probably 4 years ago.
No, I want to say it was within 4 years.
Like within 2 months?
No.
Within the last administration?
Yeah, I want to say he did.
I don't know. I don't.
Yeah, I can't confirm that. So.
Yeah,
North Korea's been doing it since '53, and they ain't done shit yet. So
right, but I do remember that they were a little more they were more North Korea controlled. You know, North Korea controlled a little more with the previous president who was willing to call their bluff. So,
You know
just
what?
my thought.
When they fire a missile on somebody's land, then let's do something. But they ain't done nothing since the 50s. So
Yeah.
they probably fired a telephone pole. Who knows?
Once again, I'm just gonna say this. I am so glad I don't lean to left or right. I'm so glad because it doesn't matter. If they're doing something now because they think we're weak, they think we're weak. President Trump didn't make us strong. President Biden doesn't make us weak. President Bush doesn't make us strong. You get what I'm saying? Now,
hold on a second.
If somebody's going to do something based on us being a president, and then you show me where somebody did the same thing, and let's say the other side had a different response. You get what I'm saying?
If that headline said North Korea launches 2 ballistic missiles into Pearl Harbor, we might have a different.
Hold on. I'm gonna give Mike an answer, but I'm not gonna give it directly because we got a new guest among us.
Oh, cool. He looks like he got a tan, so he's on that CP time.
So how you doing, Paul?
Good, gentlemen. How are y'all?
Good. All right.
So sorry, you just missed one topic, but
I saw the end of that. But okay, go ahead. We're all good.
Well, yeah, we're talking about now North Korea, and I think you heard Mike's long rant about how we're not strong because of our president.
It wasn't a rant. It was just a response.
Oh, my bad. Whatever you call it. Hey, okay. I call it a rant. You call it a response.
That was my ranting response.
Yes, passionate response.
Yeah, and I stand by it. You know, for people who try to say this president makes us look weak, I'm like, to who? And what did that country do to this? Now that we're weak, they didn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I stand by it. I don't listen, man. I'm gonna tell you right now. I don't know how much people really know about our military might, our military force, but I stand behind it. Ever since I'm not going to tell you where I was because it wasn't Hawaii, Jim. And when I learned about our military might, you know what I mean? And it's just, like I just said, I just stand behind it. People can make moves, and I do agree, like one of the previous episodes that Paul was talking about, some countries might do things for long term. They playing chess rather than checkers. But when you're talking about this right here, North Korea, Sea of Japan, I don't give a damn. You really want to make a statement against somebody who's weak, you'll fire it in their backyard, like Nate was just alluding to. You know,
I was just saying, sure. If we're weak, they ain't firing at America. There is not one country that's going to shoot anything in America right now. Not one.
Not yet. We got more topics coming up though.
There will not be one country that fires.
Paul, you still have a chance to respond to this because you just came here. What do you make of that topic? You're better off when you're not on mute. You're a lot better off.
Oh, sorry. Rocket Boy is Rocket Boy, and Rocket Boy is going to be Rocket Boy. However, you do see a lot of other nations like trying to look at the perimeter of what we have on, and I would say that even as an American citizen, you had to have concern on like who's holding the football at the moment. That's all I think that all of this is just trying to poke the bear to see where our line in this quote unquote line in the sand is.
I think countries are going to do what they want to do. No one's going to come and attack. Once they come and attack America, I guarantee, no matter who's president, the country will be demolished.
Well, I agree with it, but that's where. Oh, go ahead.
But it's not about attacking America. It's about our interests that we have in the region, i.e. Taiwan. We already even talked about Japan the other day. So what is our response? Do we do nothing? Do we do something?
So like I said, where in the Sea of Japan did this rocket get launched? What is the Sea of Japan? That's like saying the Russian rocket in the Pacific. You know how big the Pacific is?
Not near as big as the Sea of Japan.
Well, yeah, I know that, but how close to Japan did this rocket go? Do you know?
I have no clue.
Yeah.
Well, even without reading in the article, though, but they launched the missiles. Like you said, when we launch missiles, we launch them at our home. But that's still news to other countries. Other countries want to know when we're testing missiles. Why are we testing missiles? How many missiles? What types of missiles? So that is still news to other countries. Not that it matters.
Why don't we
that's
say
news to them?
Why don't
Okay.
we say 12 rockets from
really-
the range today?
If you're really gonna look at that, what's the last country to do something against America?
England.
Well,
Right?
Well,
you look at 9/11. They tried to blame that on who? Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
They tried to blame that on who? That somebody allegedly came into the country, attacked our citizens, and that was on President Bush's watch, right? So did they do that when he was president because we look weak?
well,
That's
I'm not.
I don't fall for that stuff, man.
No, I'm not. I'm not contesting your whether we're weak or not. And I think, like Paul was just talking about, is that they're pushing the bear. They're poking the bear. I can't even get my sayings right. They're poking the bear because they know they can. If it was some other scenario, they know that there'd be a response. So just like we're talking about gun control a minute ago, they're taking your gun control. You're talking about the umbrella. Why are they creating that umbrella? They're taking a little at a time because they know they can. So when another country who has an ulterior motive, maybe they're not going to come in and attack America because they're not that stupid. But if they're poking the bear, like if China's sending ships in front of Taiwan, they're poking the bear because they know they can. They're pushing the boundary.
So are you saying that it's because it's Biden in office?
I'm saying that why are they doing it? Why are they pushing it that far? Because if they could have done it before, they would have pushed it that far and they might have gotten a different response. So at
They
some
had that
point, the
before.
response,
All these
What
countries
was
do the same thing.
you can't all talk at the same time.
Yeah.
Go
All
ahead,
these
man.
countries-
Go ahead, Nate. Go
all the
ahead.
time. Sorry, Mike. All these countries do the same thing all the time.
Yes.
We talk about it. It's probably the same thing every year, every 2 years. The same discussion. China's in the whatever seat they're not supposed to be in. Japan's whatever seat they're not supposed to be in. North Korea's launching missiles to wherever. What's happened in the
Right.
past besides 9/11? What else has started a conflict?
Well, I'm not disagreeing they don't do it, but at some point they have to stop based on the response. Based on the response they get when they poke the bear is where they know the limit. So if those lines are changing by administration or by people, whether you accept it or not, that's your opinion because some presidents lean inward and pay outward, and other presidents start wars and pay inward. I mean, there's different approaches. So
Sure.
I'm just saying if they're poking the bear, they're doing it for a reason.
Yeah, why do you think they're doing it then?
I don't know. It's just a headline. That's why we're having a conversation, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay, I'll leave it right there. Oh,
What we got next, Jim?
All right, we'll go to the next one. On little noticed panel, on little noticed panel, which means nobody noticed it, Fauci and Chinese counterpart envision lengthy COVID restrictions.
duh.
So, yeah, they might envision it, but Texas isn't envisioning it. Georgia's not envisioning it. Florida's not envisioning it. New Jersey is saying all kids are going back to school next year already. New Jersey, who is highly Democrat, are saying no online, back to school. So they can envision all they want, but what does America envision in general? Like I said, I was in South Carolina last week. I didn't wear a mask. I wore a mask in when no one else got a mask on. I just took it off.
I'm going to say this. There's a statement that I used to hate. I couldn't stand it. But after some time, I get it. When you start to say, okay, like here in Texas, governor say, hey, if the business wants to require a mask, hey, but no longer are we having this mask mandate. To me, like I said in the previous show, that's the way it should be, right? Now, if Mike James, Walmart says you're gonna wear a mask, and people are upset about it, and then you have Paul's Kmart says, "Hey, come on here. You want to wear a mask? You can. You don't. We're not gonna force you to do it," and that brings him more business. The market's gonna decide. right? I used to hate it when people said that. I used to
Mm-hmm.
stand it, but I get it. The market's going to decide because as much as they care about people, communities, when they start to lose that dollar, yeah, because that's what they really care about. So let the market decide. If you want to require a mask, require it. If it hurts your bottom dollar, then you don't require it. Okay, because that money, that greenback is gonna make all the decisions for everyone. I truly believe it, and that's why the governor here did what he did, and then others started to follow.
But like I said in the previous comment, Walmart, you should wear a mask anyway. It's Walmart. Go ahead, Paul.
I mean, the thing with it though is you're messing with people's livelihoods. I mean, think about the dude that busted his ass to start a business, and he's been out there grinding, doing what he's supposed to be doing, and all of a sudden, hey, you can't sell beer here anymore, and like all of that goes to waste. It goes to nothing. Why? Because Dr. Fauci said so. It just, I mean, I understand entomology. I understand trying to control disease vectors, etc. But I mean, to the last of my knowledge, the greatest, most deadliest pandemic that we had was the influenza of 1918, 1919. I mean, we still have the flu today, but we don't have like crazy restrictions due to the flu. So let's get on with it. And I agree with you. The market will decide. So the state needs to get out of the way of the market actors and allow them to make a living.
Yep.
Yeah. I think it's another case like we talked about government overreach. I think you need to just, government's responsibility should be get us the proper, accurate information and let us as mature adults, and I mean, not all of us are mature adults, obviously, but let us make the decisions that's best for us. Not Dr. Fauci, just us. All right, ready for the next one?
Yeah, let's go.
Michael Moore says Colorado shooter is as American as apple pie.
What do you think about that, Paul? I can't.
Well, I know I'm going to get called a xenophobe when I say this, but is that Syrian pie or American pie? Okay, so now that being said, because I'm not even going to go there, like, this is Michael Moore. Like this is a multi-millionaire fat asshole that rails on capitalism that made him a fat rich asshole. So, okay, next.
Nate?
I mean, I like apple pie. But you know what? Even if he is an American apple pie, what he did was wrong. Who cares what he is? But because supposedly he is Muslim from Syria. Where's he from? Syria. That Biden just bombed Syria. So we're not going to mention all of that in one news clip.
Maybe they mentioned it later on.
Anybody who shoots 10 people or kills 10 people, I should say, in a grocery store shouldn't have been walking out alive. I don't care what race you are.
Well, supposedly he walked out of there alive because he was white, according to the media.
He was what?
He was white. That's why he walked out alive, because if he wasn't white, they'd have killed him.
He should have been red with blood.
No, I think his leg was red.
Yeah, that's not
leg
enough.
Well, maybe we need to twist that script, because I think death would have probably been too easy for him.
They only got 27 virgins or 72 virgins, and
yeah. So I don't know why people are acting like by not shooting him it was saving us all this trouble. And well, I think keeping the guy alive, putting him in a jail cell with a bunch of people who probably don't like him, is probably more punishment than death.
It might be, but like Paul said, he did look more white than any other race out there. So, but like I said, I wasn't in the grocery store. I don't know if he gave up and came out with just his boxers on. I don't know how they got him the way he was. That whole story is not out there, but we can make
a police officer. He killed a police officer, the first responding officer. So You think those cops didn't want the same, like, oh, he's white. Oh, sorry, we can't shoot now. Like, what are you talking about?
They used that dead officer's cuffs to arrest him in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. That don't mean shit. He should have come out red, like I said.
I agree with Nate. They should have shot him.
I don't care if he had his hands up. No one knows outside the store. Shoot his ass.
Oh, come
He done
on.
killed a cop and 10 other innocent people. I don't care who he is.
Then if they found out he was Arab, then it would have been the cops shot an Arab dude, and they had no reason to kill him. And the whole
No, they got his picture out there. Sorry.
Yeah,
I ain't
that's
seen
the
no
narrative.
video camera showing anything yet.
I don't know.
Well, I would say he's as. I'm sorry, man. This is the equivalent of Justin Bieber or Kris Jenner. You know what I mean? Headline. I'm sorry. Michael Moore. I'm sorry. I just can't.
That's a disgrace to apple pie. That's a disgrace to apple pie.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on.
What I was going to say was this. I like the way everyone's trying to, get his backstory, what his beliefs are, what have you. And I'm like, why does it matter?
Yeah.
Because, when certain people do good in the Olympics and you have all of these hyphenated Americans and they say, oh yeah, he's doing good. He's just from my home. That's my homeland. I'm like, damn, aren't you American? They say, well, but originally I'm from, I say, oh, show me your passport. Same thing in this case. What does his passport say? Or if he were to have a passport, would it be an American passport? He's a freaking American. Mm-hmm. So I can't say I agree with Michael Moore. I can't say that. All right. But if he's an American, he's an American. I don't want to hear none of this. Oh, he's a Syrian American. He did that. No, I don't care. He's an American.
Yep.
I think he means he's a white male with a gun that can't control himself and just goes and kills people. I think that's what he means by as American as apple pie. Because that's the narrative that immediately came out. And everybody kind of went like, okay, this is not some disgruntled white redneck from Alabama that just came and shot up the place with his assault rifle. It doesn't fit the narrative. They go like, ugh. Because really the narrative with any mass shooting is mental health. And it knows no race. It knows no sex. It doesn't care. It doesn't discriminate. If you're fucking mental enough where you're going to go shoot up 10 innocent people at a grocery store, that's the issue. And nobody wants to talk about that's the issue. They want to polarize it and politicize it. That it's just the evil white man with his ARs and his little gun fetishes that do all this shit.
So
rant complete.
So let me ask this, Mike, because I know you want to jump on this part. Let me ask this: how often does this kind of stuff happen in Russia?
So what?
How often does this stuff happen in Russia or Ukraine?
It doesn't.
It doesn't at all, right?
No,
it's only America that has these
never
things.
happens.
That's why we have it as American pie. That's the part I want to ask Michael Moore. I know his money and all that stuff probably takes him to a lot of resorts in a lot of different countries, but have you been to some of these countries? Like, have you seen what happens in some of these countries?
Yeah. If you did it in Russia, they'd kill your ass. So Russians don't do it.
Right, but I mean, my point is even
you killed his ass.
Colombia, all these countries that people are leaving, they will tell you this violence is normal. So stop trying to pretend like this is an American thing. It's just an American thing to exploit it and put it all over the news every day when it happens, if it happens even that often.
Yeah, because we don't like.
I don't know if this is American.
Wait a minute. Am I hearing you right?
Are you?
So when you have this American guy goes and shoots up a bunch of innocent Americans, hey, don't even talk about it. It's not really a big story because this happens in other countries.
No, you're not hearing me right.
Okay, so that's
you're hearing that, and I'm saying it's not as American as apple pie, which is supposed to mean that it's just an American thing like apple pie is. It's not just an American thing. It's not like America's known for mass shootings. That's not what it is. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, as the red square.
I guess he never heard of Dutch apple pie, but okay.
Oh, Dutch apple, right.
I'm just saying.
I don't even like apple pie. All right, somehow.
But yeah, I agree with you. We don't publicize Colombian news. We don't publicize Russian news. The only news we publicize is our own.
Well, my point was being is like you can say as American as baseball, American Pie. So he's trying to synonymize mass shootings to America like it's that normal. And I would submit that, have you ever been to another country? Like this, I wouldn't consider our shootings normal in the frequency when I looked at other countries and what's happening in there. So I don't know where the American Pie part.
Yeah, you wouldn't have to people rush into America to be shot like apple pie if their countries aren't as bad or worse than America.
Right, and they don't like apples, so no, I'm just making that part up.
Well, to me, if you really look at the comment, he is as American as apple pie. Apple pie being an American staple, if you will. So this guy is an American, and now people are trying to point to Syrian background or whatever, or his beliefs or whatever, and I'm like, he's an American. He shot up some Americans. So why are we trying to spin it like he's not really just American?
Yeah, I think you're reading way far into that, but I do understand your point and agree.
Okay.
So let's move to the next one.
Wow. Okay.
Another Michael Moore candidate here. Pelosi claims Biden has the border under control.
So why did he give it to Kamala Harris to control?
You mean President Harris?
Not yet. He ain't followed up enough steps yet.
Oh, no, he's already called her President Harris.
Well, he's been in Senate for 120 years, too. You heard that today?
No.
Oh, during his speech. Yeah, he's been. You heard it, Paul?
Yeah, I think we should go back to the. Oh yeah, we were talking about the filibuster. We need to go back to the filibuster rules when I came in the Senate 120 years ago.
There you go.
Did he say that?
Yeah, he did.
Yes. You should watch the highlight films from today.
Well, the only reason you heard
I
it was
will.
live. I'm sure it's going to be pulled out of the late
Oh, I'll
feed.
find them. I'll find the real ones. Wow. Anyway, so the border under control. Pelosi. What do you think, Mike?
No, it's not. I don't give a damn what she says. It's not.
Come down to Chinatown. There's no threat of virus. Come on down.
Well, what is she talking about? The kids in cages? That's under control?
If it's gun control, it's definitely under control.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it's like, hey, nothing else to see here. That's an old story. Don't come back down here. We have it under control. Bye. You know, that's all that means to me.
Yeah, I saw something today. There's like across the whole text where there's like 74 facilities for people to go to, and like 62 of them have COVID in it right now. That's under control. It's under control.
I didn't pick the headline out. I should have, but you saw the thing about the paying the 80 some odd $1 million for the hotels when homeless veterans are on the streets and these immigrants are in hotels now.
It's more than 80 million, I think.
Well, I didn't see that. I saw the one about the National Guard that was guarding the Capitol. They were sleeping in in the parking garage, but now you're putting these people up in hotels.
Yeah.
It's bad.
And North Korea's shooting missiles now. Okay. Anyways, Paul, did you have more on that?
Yeah, I'm a fan of the trebuchet. So I don't understand why they're really easy to make too. Like we couldn't just put like 100 and like as soon as like, hey, how you doing? Your papers, please. Back over the wall you go. I mean, we can bubble wrap the kids so they don't get hurt and give them a helmet. Put reflective vests on all of them; they'll be safe.
Who's paying for those helmets?
PT straps, we're good to go.
I
did hear a comment that said we're going to
get my button ready.
Revert back to the previous something or other. But they didn't say what they didn't say if it's Trump's previous or Obama's previous. So no, it's not under control. It's not. They won't let media in. There's your first sign. Someone leaked pictures. I mean, it might not be cages, but they're trapped in something. I don't know what you call them, but
AOC didn't do her tour yet either.
I don't really care. They crossed the border illegally, so what do you want from me?
Well, you know what it is, Mike? It's interesting. You're going to be the first to let us know because once it's in your backyard. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Because
I'll
that's
let
the
you
problem.
know.
Right now, nobody else cares because it's not in their backyard.
The
Yeah.
Mexican president says it's out of control right now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
they always say, if you want to know what's going on in America, you got to get the news from a different country.
Right.
true.
It's true.
And Mexico probably will say this immigration thing is just like apple pie. So, we ready to move to the next one?
Just like apple pie. Jeez.
Evanston approves housing grants as part of city's local reparations program, believed to be first of its kind in the nation. Where is this at, Mike? Oh, Mike's. Mike's like, I'm out of here. Come on, Mike. You're the one's got all the information. I want to know how much money you're getting.
I'm out this month. Where's Evanston at?
You know where it's at. Stop your lying. You just bought property there yesterday so you can get some of that reparations.
Oh, man, that's a good one. I like that.
They think that's
How
the
do you-
community in Chicago.
How do you prove that your ancestors were slaves, or how do you prove that my ancestors owned slaves?
Well, first,
Cool.
let's do this. Let's define what would be the criteria. Is that the criteria?
Just because you're black doesn't mean your ancestors were a slave. I don't think. Just because I'm white,
I agree with you 100%.
because I'm white,
But
I mean my ancestors.
I
owned
don't know. I don't know what they're basing these reparations off of. First and foremost, and I thought it was because they were discriminating in some housing program that was going on, housing discrimination that was going on. I didn't know it was for the slavery or anything like that.
Well, I heard the other day redlining started in Chicago.
Right.
So obviously, if you're going to go back to the root of the problem, they're probably starting right there.
Redlining
But-
was made illegal federally 40 years ago. I don't know about you, man, but like when shit hits me in the face, I don't like sit around for 40 years like going, I just want to wait for someone to solve this fucking problem for me. Like I just move on about my own business. So
like you
I
said,
don't know what to tell you.
2 questions. Where is
Nope.
Evanston? Is that outside of Chicago? I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's a suburb of Chicago. I want to know where the trebuchets are. Oh, that's not
And I
a
want to know who's paying for it.
Really, Nate?
Only white taxpayers, or all taxpayers at Evanston pay for it? Because if all taxpayers at Evanston pay for it, that means, Mike, you're paying your own petitions. It's like you paid your own stimulus check.
Well,
You
that's
did.
true.
You did.
Yeah, we did pay our own stimulus check, but
Yeah,
I
you got a
don't think
portion.
anyone outside of Evanston is paying for those reparations.
Right, no, right. So I'm saying,
Else.
if any black people in Evanston are paying taxes, you're paying your own whatever that word is.
Reparations, yeah, absolutely.
So really, no one's paying for anything except yourself.
Yeah. Or if someone in Evanston just happens to be like the 3 of you, then yeah, you'll be paying for it too.
Right. So
yeah.
they're only taxing the white people and not the black people for.
They taxing everybody. Jesus.
Oh.
That's it. Hey, I'll let you know when I get there.
Hey, look. You know when Mike goes out, his background changed to a white person though?
Yeah. I thought you guys would put that.
His background turns to black, but he turns to a white person.
Let's make the presumption that this redlining is the reason. It would fall the same when we talk about slavery and reparations. Redlining was done by bankers, right? I'm not going to give you a loan to live in this area because we don't want you in this area because you're black. That's what redlining was, okay? So you find a banker and have a banker now go subsidize that. You might have an argument with me. But the regular schlep that's just getting up every single day and going to work and paying his bills and doing what he's supposed to, he now has to pay for something that he wasn't completely ever involved in, and probably pay to somebody that wasn't involved either. That's more morality that I whatever. It's all political theater.
So is it? What would be the solution to that? Just hey, it's a part of our history. Move on. Let it go.
You've just watched a portion of a War Room episode. Tune in next time to see where this conversation goes. You're not going to want to miss it. Thanks for joining us here at Pull the Pin Already. We hope you had as much fun as we did. If you like what we do, go ahead and hit that like button and share this video with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button so you don't miss out on any of our future episodes. But most importantly, leave a comment below. Let us know if you agree or disagree with our opinions. Hope to see you here next time on Pull the Pin Already.